y'all. So I wanted to bring a short message to you, and it's just part of the processing that I've been doing. And so I just thought I would, instead of just making a private video journal entry, I would just go ahead and share it with you all. So here's the message. In my journey, as I've become aware of what it means for someone to have toxic traits, narcissistic traits, in trying to refine my discernment, I have struggled to know how to use this awareness, how to discern with my connections or associations, right? And in contemplating this a little bit today, I've come to a realization, and hopefully by sharing with you all, it'll be helpful for you too. So here's what I realized. I can look back on my life and I can see how, even I am guilty of this. But I think that's where breaking generational curses, you hear that term thrown around a lot. I think that's where that applies here. And, breaking free, all of that, of destructive thought patterns within a family structure. Family could even be like a group of friends too. Okay, it doesn't have to be like your bloodline. But here's the realization. Once you make the decision, once you work through whatever issues you have, once you do that work, once you are truly able, through your work, your hard work, once you're truly able to let go of resentment and negativity, and you're truly able to embrace a positive outlook on life, you're going to realize a lot of those around you in your work or school associations, family, you realize that they're not able to do the same. And furthermore, you're going to realize that not only are they not able to approach life from a positive viewpoint, seeking to see the positive and add to that, but they're also going to resent you for doing that. So I can give you a lot of specific examples, and maybe I'll do that at some point, but that would draw this video out, make it pretty long. For now, I just wanted to bring this to your attention, because in looking over my family and seeing how there have been different family members who used to be close and then they fell apart or they drifted apart, and you wonder why these don't associate with these and why that is, because from your perspective, seeing everything through rose-colored glasses, right? You're thinking, what's the problem, and you can see imperfections in everyone, even yourself, so you see all this, but you're just thinking, what's the problem? Well, when you take the rose-colored glasses off and you realize that seeing imperfections in everyone is not, if you're using that to put everyone in the same category or on the same playing field, then it's not gonna make sense to you. Okay, let me clarify that, what I'm thinking. What I've been able to do is look at the behaviors in one person, for example, that they were criticized for, and I'm able to see it as actually frustration, genuine frustration, because otherwise this person was very motivated, very positive, had a lot of humor, brought a lot of humor and a lot of good positive contributions to conversations and situations, and the frustration, didn't always come out so gracefully or eloquently, right? But the frustration was always about why other people couldn't also be motivated and positive, right? Okay. But what did all these people over here draw attention to and point out with this person, right? The flaws, the frustrations this person would have about the situation. So I'm realizing now that this was a form of deflection, projection, and what they call reactive abuse in a narcissistic situation. It's like, a narcissist will intentionally, I'm sure if you've looked into this, you know about this. A narcissistic person will intentionally provoke a healthy person to react emotionally, and then be like, oh, see, you've got a problem. So it's kind of like that situation. So ultimately, here's what has brought me clarity when trying to discern who's truly healthy and who's not. If you just sit back and you look at the big scope of things and the history of a person, everything you can remember with your interactions with them, the majority of the time, did they have a positive outlook on life or not? Were they very cynical? Did they gossip a lot? Do they gossip a lot? Do they try to create a divide in your mind with like an us versus them mentality? A lot of people establish relationships that way, cliques that way, by getting you tricked into that us versus them mentality, causing divide, pointing out another person's flaws, because again, we all have flaws. Nobody's perfect. But like I said, for me, I've been able to step back for a minute, and this has brought me great clarity. Who chooses to strive and live by the light, in the light, and whose default is the darkness, who's always negative, who's always complaining, who's always rolling their eyes, who's always filled with contempt, who's always snappy, who's always giving compliments that are actually insults, wrapped up in a compliment, who's always seeming to be positive, but makes you feel off. Your alarm bells are going off even though they seem positive, because when you're paying attention, you catch them sliding in comments that are meant to upset you because it's stuff they know that's important to you. All these kind of things. So if you just step back and understand that, again, it's not the black and white thinking, because negative people are going to point out flaws in positive people that actually are beneficial to have in your life. You see what I mean? I just wanted to share that with you. If you just observe people. And another thing is too, when you hang around these people for a long time, you can wind up feeling bad about yourself and not really knowing why. And the reason is, and I've heard other coaches talk about this too, you can try to lift these people up till you're blue in the face, and they're always going to default back to that mindset of darkness. But, I used to think that I just had like a sarcastic sense of humor, but in reality, I was very cynical. And it's because I was just constantly surrounded by this type of energy, and anytime I tried to just, relax into my natural state of positivity and looking at things through that lens and being, living in the light, then I got, I was vulnerable, because I didn't know how at that point to blend in, and protect myself and put on that armor. So I got taken advantage of and poked and made fun of and things like that. So, but I just didn't have that awareness to really have the clarity about the situation. So when I would react or I would fall into a trap, I would just wind up feeling worse about myself. So you need to step away sometimes. If you don't really understand what's going on, but your gut, or your body is reacting to a situation or a group of people, stepping away and observing is one of the best things you can do. But just understand that, everybody has faults, and that those negative people whose default is to live in negativity, they're going to point out any negative aspects they can find in a beautiful soul full of light. I've seen this in college classes, where someone who was just beaming full of light and just super kind and positive was just hammered as soon as, you know, the group that was in my area of study left that environment away from that person. That person just got hammered in conversation. You know, just, I could go on and on with examples. So I hope that gives you a little something to think about. I hope that gets the wheels turning, and I hope that as you are healing and using the lessons that life has presented you to merge with the wisdom that, you know, you're getting from various places and people, I hope that you're able to release any old habits of operating in darkness, or if, you know, being stuck in that old mindset of negativity. I hope you're able to release that, and I hope that you don't feel guilty about it, about stepping into the light and positivity, because you know, old associations that whose default is in the darkness, they're gonna do everything they can to keep you there. So choose the light, and life is beautiful, and life is what you make it, right? I hope you have a beautiful day. I hope this has been encouraging for you, and I will see you again very soon.
Oh.